Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be showing you guys some audio file subtitles that have been found, and granted, while they're old, still might give us a really cool idea of maybe what to expect about these two upcoming DLCs in Grand Theft Auto Online, Finance and Felony, and then the Cunning Stunts update. So I do need to preface once again, these are old audio files. I'll explain a little bit later why these are still kind of important and what they might possibly mean. And they were also found by Crew Boss. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description or his Twitter account, so you can go check him out as well. And there's two things you guys need to know. The first of which is that drug dealing was a cut activity from Grand Theft Auto Online, as well as some sort of indoor stunting arena. We know this due to the photos that have been seen, that like shell and exoskeleton of like an indoor kind of like stunt park. So it looks like those were originally cut features, and it seems as if these audio files are relating to those cut features, but may be reused for these upcoming DLCs. And I'm going to show them to you guys in a second, and it's crazy to think how similar these audio cues could be, and they might give away some pretty nice details as well. So let's check them out right now. Okay, so here's the first tweet from Crew Boss. He states, "I believe some MP DLC files will be used in upcoming updates. The following tweets are suspected, not confirmed subtitle uses for the DLC," is kind of the disclaimer I explained to you guys. So here's the first one. It states, "I can arrange for bulk supplies to come into town." That certainly sounds like drug dealing. Rockstar mentioned suppliers and getting supplies of whether it be narcotics or jewelry or medical supplies. So that line certainly seems interesting. The next one is, "Of course, they may require maintenance to keep profitable. Rockstar mentioned that you need to maintain high value of your stock, of your goods in order to get a profit." So that makes sense right there. Up next is, "I'll send you the details about where you can get your hands on the merchandise." So that's pretty interesting in that we might need to be able to go to places to get the merchandise and then sell it, kind of like a raid. That's pretty neat right there. Up next is, "You need a retail operation." That's probably line for saying you need a headquarters, you need a warehouse, you need one of those high-rise apartment places that we saw in the screenshot. So I would imagine that's the line telling you that's what you need. Up next, it states, "A person of your interest may be available to make some money running the merchandise around town." Okay, so that's pretty cool. It sounds like a runner of sorts, someone you would use in your organization, whether it's a bodyguard or someone you hire to actually take the merchandise from one place to another, maybe from buyer to supplier. And that, in my opinion, is pretty cool, like doing drug running missions or contraband missions. I think this would be really exciting, and I think it would be more interesting than just going from point A to point B. So I think there's a lot of potential there to create some really cool stuff. The next line is, "There are properties all over Los Santos that return income." Okay, so that's pretty cool. They definitely seem like they're probably talking about a place where you would make money or like a business. So that would be pretty neat. Followed up by, "You'll need to buy a retail operation ... to sell merchandise." So clearly this would be someone trying to like secretly talk about selling drugs and stolen goods. They're like, "We don't want to mention it, but this is what you're going to be selling here." Up next is, "Buy a share in a property to sell merchandise from. You won't regret it." So I'm wondering who is actually telling us all of this. My theory is Martin Madrazo, but I think we'll find out a little bit later. And according to Crew Boss, he states that it believes to be Martin Madrazo who is going to be telling us all of this. And honestly, that makes the most sense because in-game, he was the guy who did the most kind of like drug dealing sort of things on a criminal level. There were some lower level guys like Lamar and Gerald, but Martin Madrazo certainly seems to be the guy who, if there were to be any single player character helping us here, he would probably be the guy. He's got the most connections in drug dealing and running organizations and criminal syndicates. So it would honestly make the most sense if someone like him were leading this charge. So honestly, that would be super cool. And Crew Boss goes on to say, if the stock market is added as a feature to GTA Online, Martin Madrazo will be introducing us to it. So that does make sense. He's the criminal kind of mob boss sort of guy. So, and I kind of like him too. He's got this, cruel humor to him that I think is really, really funny. Now let's move on to the possible Cunning Stunts audio subtitles. Once again, these are only possibilities since they're old subtitles for audio cues all the way from 2013. They obviously might change. So the first one is, "So listen, I got 3 words for you. Off-road biking. Now that sounds pretty interesting. Obviously, off-road biking sounds pretty cool. Followed up by, yo, did you hear about that new Kickstart arena that opened indoor off-road racing? Okay, so that's kind of interesting. The Kickstart arena, is that the beta name for the Maze Bank arena? Or is that like the actual dirt track inside of the Maze Bank? Who really knows? We're going to have to find out. They go on to say they're running time trials at the Kickstart arena, so might be a chance for you to step it up. Okay, that's kind of interesting. If these audio files are so old and Rockstar just introduced the time trials in 2015, maybe this is something they had planned for a while now. And maybe going forward, as far as new time trials go, they'll be introduced after the Cunning stunts update. So that is pretty neat. Followed up by, you should sign up for the indoor time trials at the Kickstart Arena. See if you can get anywhere near my level. That's pretty nice. Up next, hey, this sick indoor dirt track arena has opened in town. That's pretty cool. So I would imagine that would be one of the first few lines that you hear from who's ever talking to you. Again, we really don't know, but they look to be telling us about the new arena in town. Up next, they state, how's your off-road biking? My money says fairly lame. Okay, I don't know who's super depressing, but that is pretty cool and nice references to the indoor off-road track. And as far as references and cues to the stunting DLC, that seems to be it. Again, we don't really know who is talking to us. One of the theories I have is Dom, who is like the helicopter pilot for the guy who like jumps out of planes and does stunts. He's kind of like the only one I could see doing something like that, or at least makes sense in his line of work. But I do think it's extremely cool that these audio files seem to match up so perfectly with maybe what Rockstar ultimately has planned as far as these DLCs. And it really does make you think, how long have Rockstar been planning DLCs like this? It seems as if from the very beginning of Grand Theft Auto Online. I even talked with my good friend Yan, who did confirm that these audio files are old, but also it means that these files have been in the game since the launch of Grand Theft Auto Online, and it's something that they've been planning for a while now. So maybe these DLCs have just taken 3 years to develop and have really, taken some creativity and time from the team at Rockstar. So anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. I know this was a pretty quick video, but I thought the audio files were interesting and they matched up so perfectly. And even though they might not be the exact ones when the DLC does come out, it may give us a good idea of some of the activities we can do, especially in that finance and felonies update. There's going to be a few more videos coming out on my channel later today, so be sure to stick around for that. It should be a lot of fun. If you did go and enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With that out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.